Hi everyone, my name is Francesca. I have a 26-month-old baby, toddler, and I just wanted to go ahead and share with you guys our experience with speech therapy and how is it that we went in about it and how we started our process of even being accepted to the regional center. So if you're from California, I'm sure they have other assistants in other states and such, but in California there's regional centers everywhere, and I'm from LA. So in LA there's 7 different, I believe, regional centers, and I belong to the West Side Regional Center. So they do assign you to a center that you are close to in order to meet with other speech therapists and behavioral therapists or whatever it is that you might need. This is a completely free program, which is why they do have you fill out the application and verify that you qualify for these free programs. At Axel's 2-year checkup, I did mention to the pediatrician that I was a little worried about his speech. He didn't have many words. He had maybe about 10 words, and so I wanted him to get checked and see if everything was okay, if I should be worried, or what should I do about this. And so she referred me to the regional center. She said, call this number, let them know that you're worried, how old he is, they'll take your information, and then you'll go from there. So I looked up the regional center, and we are from LA. So we are on the west side of the regional center. I contacted them and they told me to go online, find an application that's on their website, fill it out, and then they'll get back to me once that is in and gone through and processed. So I did it I think that the whole initiation process is probably the hardest part about entering this program. It was a lot of paperwork and it takes a lot of patience, a lot of phone calls, and because of COVID right now they're doing everything over Zoom. So it does take a little bit of time and it's a long process. So if you're looking to do it, just keep in mind that it is a long process. It takes patience, but at the end, if you're getting the help, it's worth it. At first, I was a little worried because I did look them up on Yelp and they had mixed reviews. Some of them were good, some of them were really bad, and honestly, I was like, man, what am I getting myself into? Like, is this the right choice for me? Is this the right choice for Axel? Do I really, want him to go with this? And I don't know, if it's no help, why am I wasting my time, kind of thing. But then again, you never know until you try it yourself. And so I just decided to go with it. So we were accepted into the program after the application was processed. And so after that, my coordinator, who is the person who handles everything and tells me like what are the next steps and gives me all this information, she told me that the next step is to have Axel evaluated. So he was going to get a full developmental evaluation, and that consisted of 3 different parts. Which one was behavioral, the other one was speech, and the other one was physical, I believe. And so for these 3 evaluations, I had to make 3 different appointments, different people, and I think they were each maybe about 45 minutes to an hour long. And your son obviously is on the computer, doing some kind of activity depending on what they tell you they want you to do with him, and see how he interacts with you and his behavior and all that. Once all the 3 evaluations were done, my coordinator reached out to me and she said that now the next step is for them to sit down and talk about Axel and see where he would benefit more with what kind of therapies, if he even needed any therapies. And so it was, okay, cool. So I'm telling you, this process maybe lasted about 2 months. So once they told me that he needed infant stimulation and he needed speech. So that was that. And they were like, okay, what is your schedule like? What do you prefer? Do you want someone to come to your house? Do you want to go to a clinic? What works best for you? So I do work a full-time job, and that's the tricky part. I mean, for me, it is a little tricky because I want to be there when he does all these classes, just for my sanity. So for my sanity, I want to be there when he's taking all these classes, and so I do work. I work a full-time job Monday through Friday, and from early morning, or at least I have to leave super early because of the traffic here in LA. I have to make it to work, and by the time I get back, it's maybe like 5-ish, which is already late, and that's the end of their work time. So thankfully, for infant stimulation, they were able to find someone, and I personally chose to ask for these classes in Spanish. Based on what I was asking for someone to be able to come to my house. That way, I kind of have time to get from my job to Axel, and have someone there. We can kind of meet at the same time. They really do try to work with your schedule, but there's times where it's just impossible. So it's not me, but it's your coordinator who goes and finds someone who is fit for your schedule, who, for me specifically, speaks Spanish and is willing to come to the house. So for infant stimulation, thankfully we did already find someone. So for speech therapy, also I should mention that they try to look for people who are in your area, and like if you need to go to a clinic, they will try to find someone who's close to you and somewhere where you are able to like drive to and make it and it's possible. So for speech therapy, I guess it just depends on the clinic. For the clinic specifically that Axel was assigned to, they told me that they don't have anybody who can come in, and that was fine. I told him that was okay. For now, I can make it, to take him. But unfortunately, because of COVID, they said that only severe cases are the ones who are able to go in. And so, I mean, I haven't really gotten a response yet if he's able to or not, go into the clinic. But for now, we're doing it on Zoom. She did say that, so basically how it's going to be, because it's on Zoom, it's them coaching parent and parent trying to do these things with child. So basically my goal here is to just share my experience with you guys. Maybe you know someone who wants to go through the regional center or is looking for some insight on how it is and how the process is so far. I will be sharing that. This is just the beginning for me. I will be sharing how his infant stimulation class is going and how his speech therapy is going and how we've been growing together. So stay tuned for that.